mosquitoes too. But I don't think we're gonna I'm successfully gonna get rid of either one.
Alright.
Last night was so friggin' trippy.
Oh yeah?
I have to stop. I can't tell anybody else the story. I have to tell my cop friend just because I need his advice. Like, do you actually say, hey, this was a serious
You want to give
situation?
him the license plate number?
Yeah, I have it. It's clear on my phone, too. I did. I gave it over the phone as well, and I said, I'm the lady who called, because I have police call records. Like, I'm the lady who called in that thing. I go, I have this thing here, and I would like to tell you what happened, because...
Have you told it to the officer yet or no?
What?
Did you tell him what happened last night?
Oh, the one in Publix?
Yeah.
He wasn't there yet.
Oh.
Yeah, they're like my favorites, too.
Or you go later on? Because he might be there.
Maybe tomorrow. I'll remember. I'll remember. If I had said it today, because that's when I started crying, is when the officer wasn't there, and I really wanted to talk to somebody about it. I was petrified. Damien came out at like 3:15 and was like, what's going on? My computer had I didn't even have I didn't want to be up anymore. I was really tired last night because I'd been in the studio all day. And kind of like now. And I just said, you know what, I'll be in very soon. I can't say that. I didn't want to tell him what had happened.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first time I told him.
Did you tell him yet?
He's so disconnected to life. Like, he didn't even know that there was, I was like, oh, they just shut down 95. You know, it's a protest over the latest,
Incident in New York?
Incident. Well, the second grand jury that did not indict a police officer who, killed an unarmed black man. And it's very interesting because anybody who's looking at this with sober eyes is all just going, I understand. If you've got an asshole kid or a criminal kid on your hands, you arrest them. You put them through the due process, Everybody talks about gun control, and really, probably one of the most important things as a citizen is due process. Because it means that, if there is a rise in a police state or a government takeover, or a militia takeover, essentially, there's a due process. And if you're going to accuse somebody of something, they go through the system as quickly as possible. And, a verdict is reached. You go to jail. If you kill somebody, there's a chance in some states that you will be put to death yourself. But it seems so odd that in 2014, you have police shooting first. Like, they're your judge, jury, executioner. Right then and there, you're unarmed. It's like that guy last night. If we had gotten out of the car, all four of us had gotten out of the car last night, and that guy had a gun, he could have pulled the trigger on all of us. And it would have been his word against our dead words that would never be uttered. He could have made himself out to be like a victim of, a crazy mother and her 3 teenage children, all of, not pure white people. Yeah, I guess I am. But,
Not us.
I was just the escort, imagine how that spin is, because everything is the media. We could have been portrayed as like, oh, they were in special programs, and he is from a poor black family with no father, and this kid here, it could have worked out really poorly. But this is my friend, the one that I had told you about in the car. He posted this article today about what really is the issue is that you have this thing called white man's resentment. And it's like ever since 9/11, it goes back way, way far back. Hold on, let me bring that thing closer. Like, nobody ever really healed from 9/11. What happened was what we think of as news today is far from being news. Not win the most electoral college votes, and that made Bush president. And the deciding state was Florida, because his brother was governor, and there were lots of like shady things happening. So we got Bush as president. So I didn't feel strongly about either candidate, but it just seemed like a shady beginning. I was like, ooh, I didn't know how I thought about either one of you, but right now I really don't like what you just did. But then it kept getting worse, and I was going to Paris a lot at the time because I was dating a guy who lived there, and you had a nanny and stuff like that. Times were much better back then, I guess. And I was there. We'd get jet lag going that way, so I'd wake up, and he was a hedge fund manager, So we used to have all these financial news. It wasn't normal, CNN or this or that. It was all Bloomberg Weekly or this very high economic news talk. We used to get the London Financial Times. So I would read them, and there was an article published there about a gag order on the free press. Essentially, they were not going to allow any foreign press back into the country unless it was basically controlled. And then September 11th happened, maybe 6 months later. And then all you had was you had the uprising of things like hate TV, where it was 24 hours a day, hate Muslims, and this is what they are. It was not ever on one part of the Quran that a bunch of, essentially crazy fundamentalists in their religion, were glomming onto, or at least that's what was said in the acceptance letter for, credit for doing, taking credit for it. It was like, yes, these are the reasons why we hate you, American scum and capitalist pigs. And you're like, seriously? Why don't you actually tell us what's wrong? Because I mean, that whole problem happened in 2001. It's 2014. What you doing?
I'm moving it.
I'm moving it because I'm staring at my favorite tree.
Mm-hmm.
It's my happy tree. It's my favorite place to sit out here. Because I can stare at my bench and also, do you see that tree over there? See how I planted all those bushes there and stuff?
Yeah.
So that it would be really pretty and wild when you look at it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great window to the world. When I first started being a teacher, somebody came upon this book about how to get kids to write, like interesting things. And the opening chapter, I tried reading the rest of the book, but the opening chapter was this woman who was writing. You ever want to get a person to really look at their world, like whether it's an artist or a writer, you ask the question, what do you see out of the window you look out of most? Like that should be playing in your mind constantly. What do you see out of the window you look out of most? Whether it's your bedroom window, whether it's your kitchen window, what is it? And so 30 years later, because I found that in my 20s,
Yeah.
I have to say I create a lot of good vistas, little things that you look through. I have to have that view. That's why the fish has the greatest window on the planet. He actually feels that he is in the ocean. He just is very alone. Oh, you want me to look at the camera? I never look at the camera. Such a nutty child. Alright, what do you want to talk about? I'm done talking about the law. I'm not done talking about it, I'm just done talking about it for now. Pisses me off. Want to talk about your friends?
Yeah, let's talk about them.
Let's talk about your friends.
Let's do it.
I'm so excited that you're sort of broadening your friendship base. I gotta tell you, I'm really proud of you.
Yeah.
I think if there's one way that I could look back on my own high school years, like the thing that I remember most is that I had different walks of life that I could embrace. Because I was only in high school from 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. You have 9th, 10th, 11th. So you can experiment. This is why when you go to a school like the size of yours, when you first started realizing that everybody was beautiful and smart and mom, and I was like, take your time because it's a very small school and 4 years will be like horrible if you make a wrong decision, basically. Although I didn't tell you that part. I'm telling it to you now because I've already lived to see that come to fruition through others. Yeah. Yeah. The statutes of limitations on when you can date your friend's ex-girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever it is, the high school politics, I suppose that's what it's called. But that's awesome. I think it's really cool. I kept because remember, I was in orchestra in like a really big, huge high school.
Alright, cool. Now you may talk.
Alright, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
I want to ask you about why you are broadening your friendship horizons right now. I'm curious. Because I can tell you why I did it, but it doesn't matter.
I don't know, I just wanted to do something different this year.
Well, if it's any consolation, adults are seeing you in a very different light. Very different light. like the security guard that what had you called out of class when I came the other day. She's like, he's changed a lot this year. It's like I see him and he's so like light and happy. That's what we were talking about.
Who, Miss... What's her
I
name?
never
Damn it.
remember.
Wait, her name is...
The lady with the miraculous chest. I don't know how she has
Oh
walked
my
around
God.
her whole entire life with
Her-
that.
I
Her
can
back
imagine
must
her
be
like in her...
killing her.
I can imagine her in her teenage years.
Oh my God. that poor thing was
Wow.
just had it coming from all angles. Where I am very unhealthy in that department, she got all the help.
Her name is...
And she's so funny. She's so nice.
Robin.
Robin?
Her name's Robin.
You know that my favorite has always been Betty because Betty was always there when I was there.
Uh-huh.
And then Vicky because Vicky's just awesome. I saw Vicky in the parking lot.
She's always looking at her son as she passes Mr. Adams' classroom. She's always concerned with him, so she looks into the class.
But she, you know what, because I asked her, because I was like, how's your son doing? Because when you were kind of going through your crisis last year, she was very she had a lot of empathy toward the situation, so I had
What do you mean?
When you sympathize with somebody, you kind of feel sorry for them, but when you empathize with somebody, you feel for them. You really feel, you identify with their woe. And so there's,
You want to look through it? Because I'm positioning it in a new spot. See if it looks good. Is it like of my head?
it is of your head and the trash can in the background. I think you should move that trash can. I don't think you need to have the trash can there.
Trash can's fine.
I'm framing it differently. Oh, now it's awesome. All right, do I have to hit a button?
I think it's already coming.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna change.
Yeah, no. So when I was I always had a feeling that she was going through like her own kind of similar woe with her son because of the way that she knew
The
when I came in
silence.
when I had a concerned look on my face. She made sure that she didn't ask many questions. She just got answers immediately. She was like, "Okay, this is what you need to do right now. Leave a message here for this person," and that meant a lot as a parent, you know, to have somebody, you know, working at the front desk who could just read your face and know that, you know, I can't go into it right now, but I'm trying to help my son. But I said, because she goes, yeah, I've noticed some things in my own son. You kind of worry me, you know, kind of thing. And so I asked her today because I hadn't seen her for a while. And she's like, you know, he's doing much better. I go, do you think it's, and we just started talking. It's like, you know, they've lived through probably